Hi there, this is Aaron. Today is Saturday the 21st of June and it's day 55 on the allotment. It's another absolute glorious day. It reminds me almost of the Caribbean, with the clouds in the sky, but it's really warm and the heat on the ground. The water is practically steaming off. So really pleasant, maybe even a little bit too hot to do some work, but we are here and we have been doing some work. Well, we got an awful lot done last weekend, but I also came back during the week and let's take a look first of all at what my intentions were with the pumpkin patch. Well, as I hope you can see, I've started to have a bit of a tidy up on the ground along here. Starting to pull out the long grass which was overgrown, cut it all down. This is in preparation for me preparing where the pumpkins are going to go, which is what I'm aiming to do over the next couple of days. There's a lot of work to do here to clear the ground. So yeah, there was an awful lot of weeding to be done, a lot of work. But now let's take a look at it today. Well, I hope you can see this, that now in the ground are my pumpkins. There's one of my jack-o'-lanterns, my giant pumpkin in the middle, another of my jack-o'-lanterns, and then just a little bit further over is my final jack-o'-lantern. Now I've actually dug all of this area. It's covered over with cardboard at the moment, and various things to weigh the cardboard down so that it doesn't blow away, because what I'm hoping, come round, is that the pumpkins are in and I'm hoping they're going to grow towards the sun, which is this direction, so that they're going to cover this area here. Now it says 2 to 3 metres, it's about 2 metres. I'm going to have to probably snip them off, so keep an eye on them, but at the moment I'm thinking to myself that, you know, if I get a 2 metre pumpkin, then that's me really lucky, so that's a really nice problem to have. But that is my pumpkins in. It was hard work, but worth it. One of the things that came up from my last video, it was Ian Nocton, that said, did you leave the roots in the ground? And I didn't. I understand what you mean, Ian, that you know, they're full of nitrogen and they're really good for the soil. But I was in two minds, and this is why. Now, I've just had a talk with one of the most experienced plot holders here, and he said, because I thought I had a touch of black fly, but he's saying this looks like something else. I don't know if you can see, but the leaves on this broad bean are absolutely rotting. Let me show you something else. On these leaves, there's a kind of rust on them. Now, there's holes, and on some of the other plants, the holes are, yeah, there's more hole there than leaf, so something's devouring it. It's not black fly. I do have one with black fly. That is black fly. But this isn't. This is something else. So, I mean, I didn't put that in the last video because, I mean, I was going to pick my beans anyway. And I wasn't sure what it was. I had to go away and look it up, but yeah, rust does seem to be the most likely culprit. There is no cure for rust, and the beans were just going to wither. Interestingly enough, it does seem to be what my little bean last year was suffering from as well. So it's possible that there could be something in the soil. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on my other brassicas to see what develops there. Most of them are not susceptible to it the way that broad beans are, but as I say, yes, going to keep an eye on that. But thank you very much for your suggestion, Ian. I really do appreciate it, and I'd be interested if you know more about this than I do, and whether, even though they had rust, whether you would have left them in the ground. So that would be good to know. Well, there has been an awful lot happening, and looking at my video of last weekend before I came out, and just now, there has been a lot of changes. So let me show you around. If I take you first of all into my greenhouse, now the fact that the pumpkins are planted out made an awful lot more room in here, and as you can see, it's been all change, because now what I've been able to do is to create a trellis that I've attached to the framework of the greenhouse, if you can see that, and a couple of sticks that have been held away from the actual greenhouse material, the covering plastic, so that it won't puncture it. You can see I'm using a little trick there with the bottles to avoid sharp edges so I don't blind myself when I try and stoop down. But in there are the cucumbers, and you can see that they are now, well, that one's definitely almost 5 foot. The others are 4 foot and a bit. So they're doing really well, and they're even starting, if we come in here, to get some flowers on. Now, I need to look up on this because there are varieties that only produce female flowers, and there are other varieties that produce both male and female flowers, and I think what I've got to do is I've got to take the male flowers off. Problem is, how the hell do you tell the difference? Do I need to pollinate these? I will look it up, but if anybody, these are Burpless Tasty, so if anybody has got experience of growing these. I mean, there's a couple of flowers here, and I don't know if they're male and female currently, so I need to look this up. But certainly, the way that they're growing, I'm very happy. Now, what that means on this side is that all of the chilli plants are now on the top row, and this is getting very, very crowded. Very crowded with chilli plants, and some of them are not happy. I can tell that with how crowded they are. So I need to do some work here. Specifically what I've got to do is make room with the brassicas and either get them cropped or get them out. There's all of the Lolorosos which I know I can crop, so that'll make a little bit of room, and I need to do something with the little gems as well. But a nice problem to have. Now this has meant that my strawberries have had to move, so they've moved to the side of the greenhouse now, producing even more strawberries, so really pleased that I've still got strawberries coming on those. Really happy about that. We'll look over here. At the front there is a sunflower as well. Some of the additional brassicas seem to be doing well, and I'm going to try and plant those. What is great is that the peas that I planted out, they all seem to be really healthy. So the Douce Provence seem to be doing a better job of things, so I'm happy about that. My Borlotti beans seem to be none the worse for wear, which again I'm happy. They even look as if they're going to start to climb up poles, so that's really good. The French beans, yep, they're growing up and they're starting to look as if they're going to grab onto the poles as well, so happy about that. Some of the runner beans are up about 5 foot now, 4 foot, and that's doing very, very well, so happy about that as well. I actually did get a pea pod from these Kelvedon Wonder. It was the tiniest pea pod in the world. It had 3 peas in it. They were delicious, because of course I ate it. I just don't know what I did wrong with these, and I'll be interested to see how the Douce Provence turn out, to compare that to what I did with the Kelvedon Wonder. What I suspect is it's a combination of being at the very edge of the bed where the ground is harder, and also I put them out too long and they got a bit cooked in the greenhouse. So I think it's a combination of those things. My white currant, as you can see, got mulched, and what that means now, hopefully, is that the ground is not getting as baked as it was. They're planted in coir, and also as the leaves break down, hopefully that is getting a bit of a feed. So hopefully 2 wins on that. Now the onions, some more of them are flopping over. The bed needs weeding. It's a bit of a shame because some of them flopping over are the ones that I planted from the Rinsberger Dutch variety, which had been growing indoors, so that's a bit of a shame. That doesn't look as if some of those have taken, although others have. Others of them are bulbing up. Now, it was either today or yesterday was longest day, and so onions, all alliums, do an awful lot of work around the longest day, and particularly these onions and also the garlic will have done most of their work by the end of today. So this is getting very close to the time when they should be pulled out. There's others also that have got the tops that are turning a little bit paper, so that suggests to me that it's time for them to come out as well. But the onion experiment hopefully does mean some of them do look as if there's some interesting and decent bulbs on them, others are not, so it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of the ground with these. Exactly the same applies to the elephant garlic. Never grown it before, don't quite know when to pull it. I'm still not ready yet to say let's have a look because there's only 3 of them, but getting towards the time where I think I will be. In the middle of the allium bed I've now got my leeks, and they're definitely growing. So very, very pleased, particularly these larger ones at the end, which I was growing in pots initially. So they're in the ground, they seem to be doing all right. And finally the garlic. Now I did pull one of these to see what it was like, and it was very, very small. And a lot of people have been saying that, you know, they've got really good garlic, and looking at that, what they seem to be doing is growing garlic in raised beds. And this was a bit of a swamp through the winter, and so I'm wondering if it had an effect. So possibly my garlic won't be as good as everybody else's, probably in fact, but it's been an interesting experiment, and it is definitely convincing me that garlic needs to be in very well drained soil. So it's been a very good learning experience. Of course, you know, I could pull 1 or 2 good garlic cloves out and that would make me very happy. We'll just have to see. These brassicas are desperate to be in the ground. Brussels sprouts, little gem, they're all desperate to be in there and growing, and I need to dig somewhere for them to go. Well, I planted my radish, and I don't know if you can see, let's bring you round. It's coming through. Now, I thought, yeah, all I've got to do is thin it out. I did see a video from Mark Abbott Compton, and Mark was saying, no, don't thin radish out, just sow it 2 to 3 inches apart. So that's a bit of an oops. He said 95% germination rate. I'm not sure I've got that actually, but there again, it's only been a few days. So I will thin out what's there and leave it so that I've got more or less 3 inches apart, so that we can get some nice tasty radish. Here we are with the potatoes. These are the Golden Wonder, and this is actually a really pretty purple flower on these. I was expecting the yellow or white flowers, but these are very, very pretty, and I guess it just goes to show how well they're doing, because I think that means that there are now potatoes forming. So really good about that. These are the Anya. Everything's looking so green and lush. These seem to be better potatoes than I grew last year, so that's really great. These are the rest of my strawberries, and there's a couple there to pick as well. I'm really pleased with how these strawberries have done this year. They're a variety called Honey. I know somebody was asking, and so yeah, I planted them. I picked them up at the Edible Garden Show. They've done me absolutely brilliantly, and I'm very happy with them. These are the autumn raspberries. There's some on the end here as well. They're doing much better than they were last year at this stage, so it seems that giving them a year was really good. I still don't know what this variety is. I know that it is an autumn raspberry, but it would be good to find out at some point what the variety was in the ground. So, yeah, they are much better now that all the grass has been cut down from them, and hoping for great things from them. Here's the red currant, exactly the same mulch that it got. There is a bit more colour in it. I'm going to give it a feed, but neither the red currant nor the white currant are going to produce any actual fruit in year one, and I hope that I can have these in the ground in their final places towards the end of the year, ready for next year, when I think they probably will produce more. So this is a work in progress, and come back and see another year how they're doing. And then this is the rhubarb plant. I'm starting to think actually that part of the problem is that these potatoes have grown more than I thought they were going to, and that they're shading out these. So I think maybe moving some of the potatoes a bit would do the rhubarb well. Yeah, I keep telling myself that it's year one and that it's establishing itself. I saw, I think it was Samo's video, where his rhubarb is in year one, and certainly it does look better than mine. But it's not these huge blossoming triffids that I've seen on other videos. So I'm trying to take heart from that, and that this isn't actually in trouble, that it is just establishing itself. On the first day that I got the allotment, this is a picture of how it looked, all the grass, ready to be cut, all the work that needs to be done. And this is it today. And I think that's really going to bring us to the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on the allotment. Goodbye.